Welcome back to Lost in the World. Today we discuss the Argos Raid, Phase 1. The first of the coveted and acclaimed endgame raids in Lost Ark. Does the first destination justify the journey in Smilegate's mmoarpg Odyssey, or is all the grind for nothing? Let's find out by getting lost in the world of Argos's big garden. Let's set aside the issues regarding the timing of the release. That can be discussed in my other video, which is linked at the top of the screen somewhere, but let's just discuss the raid itself, what it brings to the table, and if it is actually any good. In short, yes. There you go, hit like, subscribe, thank you. But seriously, let me break down why it's so good, why it scratches all the itches I personally look for in endgame MMO content. In my opinion, there are a few key components to a raid and endgame content. Firstly, is the difficulty set correctly and fairly? Secondly, are the rewards worth the, for some, stressful aspects of the raid? And lastly, is the journey to this point worth it? And on a personal level, and this one might just be me, does this raid make you work as a team and overcome social barriers with strangers to complete a difficult team objective? Honestly, the last one is one of the main reasons I love raiding with random. Okay, so the first question I often get asked is it hard? How difficult is it? Yes, it's a tough but great raid. Like a great game, it's punishing while making you a better player at the same time. The Argos Raid does that and then some. Dodge management, shield timings, item management, finding out the usefulness of certain items that just may be clogging up your inventory right now, communication, pattern recognition, attention to detail, it's all here. I also get asked, can anybody complete this raid once they reach the required gear score? And yeah, I'd say so, but really, you do need to execute on an individual level. There is nowhere to hide here. If you die, it's on you and your own misreads or lack of attention to detail. The ability to deal with this failure and the mistakes of others is a large part of the battle in any raid, and it's no different in Lost Ark raiding. Another great thing about the difficulty in the Argos raid is that though initially it seems really hard and you're almost just wondering how are 8 people going to execute this correctly all the way through, when you actually complete it and get it all down, it kind of just seems so much easier. And I think that's the sign of a good raid, that initially it's extremely difficult, it's hard to overcome, and in the end you just think, well, actually, you know, that wasn't too bad at all. And that's because you've actually improved as a player, you've improved mechanically, or you've improved as a team of individuals or a team of people in the game. And that's something that I feel this raid got absolutely bang on. Secondly, are the rewards worth it? Yes, yes, and then more yes. The Argos set is best in slot by a long, long way. Never mind the stat numbers on it, but the set bonuses are huge and they are way better than anything else out there. And really, so it should be in my opinion. I like the fact that the best gear is in the hardest content. Now that might not be for everybody, and there is good gear available elsewhere in tier 3. But nothing quite like this. The accessories can also roll 2 + 3 engravings and roll with class engravings. Thinking about this from a build perspective, eventually you'll be able to have a level 3 class engraving without the need of your skill nodes from your engraving books, freeing up that slot for another engraving of your choice. Not to mention the gold income from not only completing but selling good rolls. There's no debate just how rewarding this content is. And that really feeds into, was the journey to this point worth it? Well, I've never hidden how I was into Lost Ark for the end game. I love the challenge and I embrace it. So far, so good. It's only the first of many endgame steps the game will bring to us, and I will break down the other phases as I get to them. But ultimately, the raid's fantastic. It's tough, it's difficult, it requires teamwork and individual execution, and the rewards are excellent. So there's nothing to really dislike here. Now, different people are playing Lost Ark for different reasons, but if your main reason is to experience true endgame content on a great cadence, I promise you, you will not be left disappointed by what is being served up at the end of the long, painful gear-owning rainbow. Is it a rainbow? I think it's the opposite of a rainbow. That you're on right now. And again, from a personal perspective, does the raid scratch my social experiment itch of seeing random people across the world complete team-oriented objectives with one another while keeping their cool? Oh yeah. It definitely does. Querying failed attempts, fixing the mistakes, and being adults about it all is half the fun in this kind of stuff, and I loved every minute of it. That's all I have to say really on the Argos Raid. I'm going to do another video with some quick tips and pointers just to break down the key issues that I had in the raid, and hopefully that will help new players. Sometimes it's tough as a new player when you're reading guides or people giving you directions who've done it before. Sometimes they don't see it through a new player's eyes, so I'm going to just give a little perspective on that in another video. It'll be another short one, but that's it really. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton with the algorithm. Drop me a comment, even if it's just a smiley, it helps out a ton. Thank you, take care, and I will see you in the raid.